Alright, you guys, it seems YouTube is down, so I'm just going to record this and then post it whenever. Um, okay. Keep trying Wi-Fi. That's crazy. Seems like my internet service just went down. YouTube is down. Anyways, I was beginning to start reading on Lil Kim. Present position. Ironically, we were talking about, I was saying I get a lot of mother energy and bitterness towards it. The Empress in reverse came out. So whatever self-esteem issues Lil Kim expresses, I would say the bulk of them, the most that have to do with how she looks, has a lot to do with, or they tie back to her mother. Not saying that her mother has to do with them directly, but they tie back to a mother wound. I also feel like Lil Kim has a distorted perspective of herself, body dysmorphia. I also think that she sees men, she's what people would consider a pygmy. This gives me very strong body dysmorphia. It's like she sees herself in the mirror, but sees either what she wants to see or what she doesn't want to see. But she never sees what's really there. I think that currently in Lil Kim's life, the most impactful event has been Biggie being taken out before he can reach his full potential, as she believes. I feel like she feel like Biggie protected her. He helped her. Like, this is her. And this is him standing over him. She's just a product that he cultivated. But she would be looking up to him, loving being in between his legs so that, you know, she can always say that his balls are on top of my head. She loved it there. She loved every bit of it. Whatever relationship they had, she loved all of it. Good, bad, and the ugly. She felt like he was a god to her because he made her. And yeah, he may have had other people. He may have made them too. But no, what they had was different. She belonged to him. That's what that feels like. Again, I believe that Biggie's passing stunted her. That was her most recent and last stunt to date. And that one did the most damage to her. I also believe that Lil Kim things aren't clicking the way they should there. And seeing all this body dysmorphia, it makes sense. But she seems to disassociate. You know, Lil Kim gives me Britney Spears energy. Also, think that Lil Kim is not as nice as she says she is, or as she's supposed to be. I think she does a lot of very nasty, sneaky, mean things. Especially to women. But this stems from all of these mother wounds. I don't think Lil Kim is as nice as a girl as people say she is. I think she's nice and sweet to people at first glance and the people that she loves. Other than that, I think that if she sees you as competition and there is nothing you can do to know that you're going to trigger her, I think you walking into a room can trigger her if you're a woman. I think if you're a male, you know, and she flirts with you and you could be married and you politely turn her down, that could trigger her. You never know. And I think she holds grudges, and I think she does things out of this really, really, really toxic childhood energy. And not just childhood, but personal, because it's not all that childhood stuff anymore. I feel like something is medically not right. What Lil Kim needed and needs to this day is a mother figure that is nurturing, not a disciplinarian, not someone that's gonna, teach you how to do your chores and all of that stuff, not some, that's gonna be your BFF. She needs a nurturing mother, someone who hugs her, tells her he loves her. I mean, tells her she loves her, cooks her dinner, calls her her little princess, dotes on her when she's sick. She needs that feminine energy. Lil Kim is male identified. She grew up with her father, and that caused her coping mechanism after ending up with her father is, at least he loves me enough to stay with me. And that's how a cycle of abuse can start. Because men can treat you any kind of way, but at least they love you enough to stay with you, put a roof over your head, or do things for you. That she learned from her father. Again, Lil Kim is stunted, and I think she prefers relationships with younger men that she knows have no longevity. And whatever she's going through now is with one of those gentlemen. Again, I say I think she likes younger men who she knows don't have the potential to become her husband. This here, her hopes and fears, is the lawsuit, I believe, that Misa just filed against her. Temperance, though. Her and Misa may find a way to work things out. I don't know why that reminds me of Nicki Minaj, but I just told you guys why. Now, that was Beyonce's outcome. It's Lil Kim's outcome. What do Beyonce and Lil Kim have in common? Nicki Minaj. But we just gonna see what that was for Beyonce. However, this looks like something like the Verses, because I clarified it here, and I remember them saying that it was supposed to happen, but she got upset that Nicki Minaj paid more, or was paid more, or something like that. Future could be bright for them. Why is this Temperance card here for Lil Kim? Now, that outcome, it is Nicki Minaj, but I don't believe that it's something that I'm seeing in the future. Since I'm reading Lil Kim, I think her outcome was Nicki Minaj. Because that's kind of what, according to public opinion, kind of pushed Lil Kim to the side. Her outcome was Nicki Minaj. And I'm gonna say this because I think she feels like Nicki Minaj is the worst thing that ever happened to her. Look into this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I think she feels like Nicki Minaj is the worst thing that ever happened to the world. Or at least she did. And I think, is that Cardi, Megan? Oh no, I think that the problem is it all started when they did the song together with Gucci Mane, and Lil Kim found out that Nicki Minaj was writing her own raps and writing them very well. I think that made her jealous, and I think it all went downhill from there. I think it was that song. I think it was knowing that Nicki Minaj wrote her lyrics. Again, Lil Kim feels very much that she was in her peak when she had guys propping her up, when she had guys writing for her. If she's in a room with Nicki Minaj and they have to do a track together, but she's getting help when the girl sitting across from her is writing this hot fire by herself and nobody's telling her to edit or change things or input their input, I think it started there. And I'm saying I think because I just saw it, and I think it's sad for me seeing Nicki Minaj as her outcome, because I'm doing this reading about Lil Kim. Her outcome was Nicki Minaj. Again, I think she feels like that's the worst thing that ever happened to her. And I think that's the last time that she had to clone herself. This version of Lil Kim has to hide bitterness and has to play the back seat, so to speak, because Lil Kim is still doing shows and things like that, but they're not to the level that her counterpart is. So she has to choose to thrive with that spirit of bitterness. I don't think it's current. I don't think she's currently bitter. I just think Nicki Minaj showing up was it for Lil Kim in a lot of ways. Not saying she fell off. I'm just saying like that for her was the most recent time where she got stuck or stunted, and instead of evolving through it, just cloned another version of herself. It's difficult to speak about her energy. It's a lot of things that I can't quite put my finger on, and it could be because I'm not familiar with whatever she has going on personally and emotionally and mentally. I'll say that despite the things that she went through physically, the abuse and things like that, the damage that's done to her is mostly internal. And it started internal. It only manifested whatever she experienced physically. So I pray that she gets the healing that she needs. And as long as she's alive, it's never too late. Love you guys. Bye.